Okay, we're going to get started very shortly. Trying to see if we're going to do this with the glasses or without the glasses. I think we are ready to go. Okay. Well, I just want to welcome everyone to the Member Solutions. We're talking about back to school marketing today. And of course, first, I'd like to begin by thanking Kristen for giving me this opportunity to share some of the things that we've done consistently in the past that has worked very well for us. And I'm excited to share them with you. I do want to say, I was once told that if you have to explain why you're the person on stage, you probably shouldn't be on stage. So I don't want to be that guy, but just want to give you a little background. I do run 5 schools in the Massachusetts area. We have an active count of well over 2,000 students. So we've had some success, especially in the kids department. We do run a school's about 60-40 kids to adults, but we do have a very strong adult market. We teach Krav Maga. So I am going to just reading the comments right here. I want to make sure, it's actually the first time I've done this, so I want to make sure that we get you guys some good information. So we are talking about back to school marketing. And there are a few things that we do consistently over and over again that has proven to provide us with some very good results. So here we go. The first thing that I recommend that you do is you offer an open house and back to school. Now keep in mind, we're all in a different time. The South tends to go to back to school around August, where the North is going back to school around September. But nonetheless, no matter what the time is, offer an open house. And the reason why we recommend this is because this is what parents are conditioned to. If your children do other sports, such as dance or gymnastics, you're going to find that every September, these other industries offer an open house. Now, they provide an open house. Dance studios do it. Gymnastic studios do it. So, of course, we do it because parents are used to that. Once the kids get into school and they get settled back to a routine, parents start looking for activities to do with their children. So an open house is a perfect time to give them the opportunity to come into your school, participate in some classes and see the value, and of course offer some type of special. But here's just a few tips on things I would do. There's a couple of ways you can do it. Always have your demo team perform when you do your open houses. So you may offer, for example, we call them little dragons, the smaller kids, the 5 and 6 and 7-year-old kids. You may offer a little dragons class and then do a demo. And then you may offer a Karate Kids class and then do another demo. But it's good to have that type of excitement. Decorate your entire school. Weeks prior to the open house, make sure you decorate your school. Let the students know that this is what you're offering, because what makes the open house, not only does the Facebook marketing help, but what makes the open house a success is your students. As your students are spreading the word, as your students are telling their friends, it's almost kind of sort of like a buddy day, or where your students are going to bring friends to the open house and they get to participate in some classes. And one of the things that we like to do is we like to give rewards for our students. So if you bring a buddy, you get a reward. We find adults love to receive pro shop bucks, because they want to buy apparel, they want to buy sparring gear, they want to buy t-shirts. So that's really meaningful to them. Where the kids, they like to receive rewards. So for example, in times past, we would give any student that brought a friend to the open house, we'd give them a pair of glow chucks, and then we'd let that student come for free to a glow chuck seminar. And the glow chuck seminar would simply just teach them a glow chuck form, and we have a pizza party. But it's our reward of showing, it's our way of showing our appreciation that they're supporting the school. So that's an idea of how you can reward your students for supporting the open house. And of course, prior to the open house, about 2 weeks prior to the open, we stopped teaching intros at our school. We do one-on-one intros. We stop that. We invite everybody to the open house. So that's really packed. It's full. It's buzzing. And there's a lot of good ideas that we can share. I don't want to take up too much time on one idea, but there's a lot of good steps that we can share with you through an outline that we can provide for you. So an open house is definitely one of the strategies that you want to work. And you're going to see how this all ties in a minute, because we're going to go over some other stuff, and they can all funnel back to the open house. The second idea is school talks. So a lot of teachers want to start the year off right with their students. And what better than to have you come into their school and talk to the students about discipline, about respect, about following directions, about treating people with kindness and dignity and courtesy and black belt courtesy. So school talks, and we found, again, in September or whatever it is, August, you're back to school season, we found school talks to be the perfect time. Many teachers have told us that they prefer to do. How do you get into talks? It's very simple. You simply just pass out to your students a letter, and it's almost like show and tell. You pass out to your students a letter, they bring the letter to the teacher, and basically the letter just says, hey, Mr. Garcia, it's coming to my attention that you and I have a student in common. Kirsten is one of my brown belts, and the letter just goes on to say, we would love to come into your school, and here's what we're going to teach, X, Y, and Z. Here's how it's going to help your classes. And in fact, Kirsten's going to demo it mostly with me and teach most of it with me. A couple of things happen here. Number one, the student is just on cloud nine because they're going to bring the uniform to class. They're going to get a chance to show off in front of everybody. They're going to be your little assistant. And the teachers just love this because the teachers want to do this for their student. They think it's a great idea, and it's a great example to set for the other students. Another good idea, fact that they like this is because what you're going to be teaching the students, and let's face it, they're the best in the teaching the stuff. So they always enjoy having us come in. And lastly, you want to talk about holding your student accountable. You can't go up and talk about discipline and respect and following directions, and your own student doesn't do it. So it helps hold your student accountable, and that's what we tell the parents. That's why we like it. And don't be surprised. We have done many of these, and as a result, they ask you to come back and do other classes. Sometimes they ask you to come back and do the entire auditorium. That has happened many times. So idea number one, open house. Idea number two, school talks. Okay. Idea number three for the adults now. We find September is the perfect, or back to school. Once the kids get settled down and they get into their routine, and now the parents, they want to get into their routine, and most likely during the summer, they kind of let their workout subside a little bit because they were distracted with the beach and parties and everything else. So we found back to school is the perfect time to target the adults as well. Now, we do a women's self-defense seminar, and it just brings in a lot of people. We promote it through Facebook. We boost it through the community, and it brings in a lot of women into the school. Now, here's the thing: if you're going to do a women's self-defense seminar, I could just give you a couple of tips. Number one, it has to be relevant. Okay, you got to teach some real practical self-defense that's going to address their concerns. Number two, it has to have a theme, what we call the purple cow, and that's a story for another time. But the purple cow simply means you can't just keep offering a seminar after seminar, because after a while it just gets boring. It's just more of the same. Each seminar has to have a theme. So, for example, we're doing one soon, and we're actually doing what's called a runner seminar. This is for folks, the women that run outside, and I subscribe to Runners Magazine, and they said, check this out, 68% of women that run outside feel unsafe. Okay, 68%, that's a lot. They had over 50% have ran outside, and somehow, some way were either men were catcalling, I think they call it, out to them. Maybe some even got fouled, or some, when they were running, saw somebody and felt uncomfortable. So we decided we're gonna do a runner seminar. We're gonna teach some real practical self-defense based on research on how when women are running, they get attacked. This is huge, massive turnout. We boosted it through Facebook, and it's just a gigantic turnout. We've done abduction seminars before. We've done defend yourself from the ground, defend yourself from being attacked from behind, defend in a parking lot. Again, it's attractive to them because it addresses real concerns. That's number one. And you just want to make sure that every woman is self-defense. But the opportunity is you're getting a lot of people to come in your school and see your value. Now, real quick, I know I'm talking fast, but I know we have limited time. Why would you do this in back to school? I have a friend of mine who owns a gym, and I found this absolutely fascinating when he told me this. He said, everyone tends to think that January is the big time when people are setting goals and they want to get back into the gym. He said it's actually September. That during they may be happy with their diet, and they're not working out. So September comes and everyone kind of wants to get back in that routine. The kids go back to school. The parents have more time. They want to get back in there. And you may have found this in your dojos. September is always a great time of year for everybody. So this is why we recommend plugging in some type of adult opportunity. So idea number one, open house. Idea number two, school talks. Idea number three, women's self-defense seminar. Fourth idea, and then we're going to hold it there. Fourth idea is I recommend at the back to school season to change your messages of the week. So obviously we're all doing messages of the week, but I recommend we change them. And during your, whatever the month is for you, August or September, your themes for your message of the week should talk about helping the kids have a great back to school season, or a great school season, we should say. And what you're going to do is in the month, if you do one message a week, each week pick a theme that's going to address, you want to set the kids up for success. We want the kids to have a great school year. And we're going to give them some tips on how to do this. So I wrote down a couple ideas of what we do at our schools. Let me just share this with you. The first one is you should talk about how to have the right mental attitude for a great school year. Message number one, how to have a right mentality, which of course, a positive mental attitude. We're all going to have challenges. We're all going to have obstacles, but leaders never doubt themselves. They know they can do it. Another great message would be perseverance, because you're not going to be perfect at everything. Everybody struggles somewhere, but you want to have a good attitude of perseverance and seeing things through. We always talk to them about be the difference maker. Okay, don't go looking in school how many friends you're going to have. Go looking to be a friend. Go be a leader. Treat people with respect. Treat people with dignity. And people who treat other people that way have no shortage of friends. We talked about the law of influence. Choose your friends wisely. We give them a story about how influence is really powerful. And even though you may be a good kid and you may want to make the right decisions, if you're around people that make those bad decisions, it's only a matter of time before that affects you. And lastly, I always like to talk about respect for self. Put your best step forward. Let me try that again. Put your best foot forward this year. Have respect for yourself. People who respect themselves give their best effort. Why? Because they respect themselves. So talk to them about that. Do these messages for your class. And again, if you need help with this stuff, we can provide you with some scripts and stuff. But what you also do is this. You want to take these messages, record them, and share them with your Facebook groups. So if your dojo, all your parents should be a part of a private Facebook group. So example, name of my school is America's Best Defense. And all my parents are a part of America's Best Defense Karate Kids. And this is my way of mass communicating to all these parents. Well, take these messages, record them very professionally. Okay, try not to do it in your car, be at the dojo, very professionally record these, and then post them on the groups. And let them know that we're trying to help the kids have a record-breaking year. This builds value in your school. The parents share them. The next thing I would recommend is take those same messages and boost them through Facebook throughout your community and establish yourself as the expert in your area, that you're here to help. So there's a few ideas of what we would recommend for back to school. Let me just recap them. Idea number one is open house. We have an open house outline that we can share with you if you need it. I just want to contact either through Facebook, a message, but we can certainly share that with you. But it's a good time to do an open house. Number two is school talks. It's a great time to do school talks. School teachers want to start the year off right. Number three, some type of what we call a VIP event. We're going to use a women's self-defense seminar, but have an event in your school that causes your students to bring buddies or friends into the school. Because right then and there, adults are also looking to get back into a routine and start working out again. And number four, your message of the week. Change the theme to back to school. Provide messages that are going to help the kids have a great back to school year. Share those messages on your Facebook groups with your parents and also boost them throughout the community because it gives you exposure. People start to see that, this person really knows what they're talking about. I want my child to be influenced by this person. So there's the ideas that I would recommend for back to school. Now you got to bear with me because this is my first time doing the Facebook Live thing. And I believe what we want to do is we want to open these up to some questions, if that's correct. So let's take a look if anybody has any questions for us. Okay. And let's see if Kristen, if she has any, if she has any, what she would like to do next. Okay. So I think we're going to hold it there. I believe so. I apologize if I got this wrong, but I hope this helps. Okay, so I hope this helps, and I will post the outlines that I have. Okay, we have something here from Kristen. Okay, very good. All right, we got one question. How do you combat the my kids want to do sports? Well, you know, that's a great question, and here's the thing. We all experience that one time or another. So here's what I usually tell parents. The first thing I do is I ask this question. And are we dealing with a student? Is it, I apologize for using your first name, Sarah, are we dealing with a student or a prospect? Let's say I'll deal with both. How's that? If we're dealing with a student that comes to you and the parents want to take a break because they want to do football, let's say, the first thing I ask the parent, is this a long-term thing or is this a short-term thing? Because here's where I'm getting at. So let's pretend, Sarah, that you're the parent. I would just simply ask, I would say, before I answer, if I give any recommendations, let me just ask you two questions. Is this a long-term thing? And most of the time what the parents tell me is okay, let's do this. So Sarah, is I would first ask the parent, is this a long-term thing? And I'm tempted to say most, but I think every single time they say, no, it's just until November. Okay, so we're talking 8 weeks, 10 weeks. And before I go any further, are you enjoying the program? Are you seeing benefits? Because, you know, if we're looking at Billy here, I've seen his confidence. So I just want to make sure that that's what you're seeing. You're happy with the program and you'd like to see him continue. And then, of course, yeah. So here's what I recommend. Let's knock him back to once a week for 8 weeks. 10 weeks, knock him back for once a week. And I'll make sure that after every class, he gets a little extra 15 minutes attention just to make sure he stays on track. That way you're not throwing away, if the kid's been training for a year, 2 years, 9 months, you're not throwing away all this progress and yet all this opportunity in the future. He's only going to get better. I mean, look at our black belts. I've never met a black belt that regrets being a black belt. So let's not throw it away for something that's only going to last 8, 10 weeks. That's one solution. If the parent's not really excited about martial arts and they're just looking for a way out, there's really not much you can do about that. I would talk to my instructor. Somehow we lost it early on, and we can't really solve it now. Trials, that's a different thing. Because here's the question that pops up in my head. If you already have commitments, maybe they don't know the schedule, okay? If you already have commitments, why are you coming to the dojo to sign up? You know what I'm saying? I always like when people, but I get it. It happens. I don't know if you do one lesson. For kids, you do a 2-lesson trial. I always give the schedule after the first lesson. So this kind of eliminates us going any further or going to the sign up, and then being hit with that objection. If you do a 1-lesson trial, give the schedule in the beginning. You know, as you do the tour, sit him down, say, I can see Billy's age. Looks like he's going to fit perfectly into our Karate Kids program. Here's our schedule. It's pretty flexible. We offer classes every day. How do you feel about that? And at that point, if they say, listen, he's got football going on. I didn't realize that. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. You're here now. Let's do the lesson, and let's just see what happens. And now my mind's got a chance to work on this. I got a chance to show a lot of value and maybe kind of tip the scales that they see more value in this versus the other sport. Or at least, again, I could put them on a 1-time-a-week program for now and just say, let's go ahead and do a 1-time-a-week. And then, 8 weeks from now, 10 weeks from now, we can talk about bumping up to twice a week. That way you just don't lose the opportunity. Okay? I hope that helps. And Sarah said it's a great idea. Thank you. Okay, so I think, any more questions? This is actually pretty cool. Well, I appreciate, on behalf of myself, behalf of Member Solutions, appreciate y'all being here, taking time out of your day. I hope we gave you a good return on your investment. And I will be posting things to this group to help you out, to help take the next step. I'll give you the outlines and so forth and so on. But again, Kristen, I really appreciate you putting this together. You rock. Thank you to Member Solutions, and I will talk to you soon.